Welcome back. Team.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening, Aldos.
Good evening, ma'am.
And who's there from Steve? Yeah, Steve and Aldos. We have some guests today.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. The students of 5A is also going to join us for the training. Since our numbers are very less, it will be okay that if we admit them also, right?
Yes,
Okay, okay. So Aldos
yes, ma'am.
and Steve, we are Ayman, 6C. Okay, thank you. We are planning to learn some kind of intonation while reading and intonation. Okay, just keep the phonetic symbols away for some time because you are all now a little bit bored with that. I know that. So I will give you the tips of intonation. You're supposed to write a topic and read this.
Ma'am, I have a doubt. Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Will you be able to read this, write this, copy this to your book
Okay, ma'am.
only in 5 minutes?
Okay, ma'am.
Atos
Yes,
and
ma'am.
Steve and Ayman.
ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
just see this. Yep.
Ma'am, I have a doubt. So we have to copy down this paragraph in our
Notebook.
Ma'am, notebook means, do you mean rough book?
You don't have a notebook, Aldos?
Maybe you should write our note standard.
Yeah, I am always asking you to keep a book. Whatever we are studying should be entered in the notebook of as introduction. Okay, so you just need to write this portion only, which is marked from here to here. Not the whole paragraph, which is marked here, starting from here, ending here. Please write it very fast, okay? Please write this. And the 5A students can mute and practice reading this now. Okay? As I told you, underline the important points that you feel to give more attention. Get more attention and make different kind of partitions. Aristotle lived up many years ago. He was born in a Greek colony about 350 years before the birth of Christ. His father, Nicomachus, same importance, was the physician for the king of Macedonia.
And till which time 5 have class?
See, that is quite, sorry, that is quite optional, Anusri. I'm planning to keep you here till 7:15. If you want to leave, that's completely fine. You can leave. Only the students. Sorry.
We'll leave early in 7:15.
Yeah, no issues. His father, Nicomachus, was the physician for the king of Macedonia. The king of Macedonia. Unfortunately, Nicomachus died. Died is important when Aristotle was quite young. When Aristotle was quite young. When he was 17 years old. When he was 17 years old. He was sent to Athens to study. Athens to study. Athens was the center of learning, and he joined the academy and he joined the academy and studied for 20 years and studied for 20 years under Plato, who was the foremost philosopher and teacher of that time.
King's name, can you pronounce one more time?
Nicomachus.
Sorry, the king's name.
Kings. Plato.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Sorry. Which king? King of?
The first king means the Nicomachus was the
Physician for the king of Macedonia.
Thank you.
That is a country name, Macedonia.
Ma'am, I have chess tournament.
Okay, we can leave. No issues.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
After the king of Macedonia, what? After the king of the Macedonia,
After the king of Macedonia, unfortunately. All right. It's done? Okay, so the six standards could continue. Now I wish to just give some a small catch at only these students. Just let me stop share for a minute. I just want to see, yeah, all the fifth standards left. Only Angelina and Anusri is there. It's okay.
Ma'am, Bharatwaj is also there.
Sorry, Bharatwaj? Bharatwaj, I can see.
Ma'am, Bharatwaj and Anthony is there.
Anthony is also there, but okay. Yeah, good.
Ma'am, share the board.
Yeah, sure. Angelina, could you just try in this way where you were, Aristotle lived?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I was practicing.
Yeah, just try now.
Okay, ma'am. Aristotle lived many years ago. He was born in a Greek colony.
Angelina, I'm telling you to don't give more voice at the first word. Aristotle and Aristotle, which is less voice.
Aristotle.
Yeah, that's enough.
Aristotle.
Aristotle lived. You give the pressure to the
Aristotle.
word lived, not to Aristotle.
Okay, ma'am. Aristotle lived many years ago.
This is perfect. This is enough. This is the standard one. The other one is the usual, anchoring script of the
Okay,
schools
ma'am.
in Kerala.
Ma'am,
CBSE
I
schools
finished.
all anchor like that. Okay,
Aristotle lived many years ago.
this is perfect. Very matured. Okay, keep this
Okay, ma'am.
momentum. Say it again. Say it again and again. Keep it in.
Aristotle lived many years ago.
Wonderful.
Aristotle lived many years ago.
It's not a go. It's a go. Go, go, go.
Ago. Ago.
Yeah.
Echo.
Baby, it's not
Ar-
ka. It is simple ga like this. We are saying this one.
I'm like,
Aristotle.
Aristotle
Ma'am?
lived. Aristotle lived many years ago. Simple.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Aristotle lived many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He was born in a Greek. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Your ga sound in
Can I read?
ago is still wrong. It's okay. That I will teach you later, but you can continue reading now.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Aristotle lived many years ago. He
Gone,
was
gone,
born
gone.
in
Again, Angelina, no. I will not let you go without changing it.
okay, ma'am.
Aristotle lived. Aristotle, don't give the stress like the CBSE students in Kerala. It is not good. We
Okay,
are
ma'am.
now trying to be good. Don't
Aristotle
give much
lived
pressure. Yeah,
Aristotle
continue.
lived many years ago.
Good.
He was born in a Greek colony about 350 years. His father, Nicomachus, was the physician for the king of Macedonia.
Good.
Unfortunately, Nicomachus died when Aristotle was quite young.
Yeah.
When he
Hold,
was 17,
hold on, Angelina.
yes, ma'am.
Unfortunately is wrong.
Okay,
Unfortunately.
ma'am. And
Unfortunately.
ma'am, silent sound is coming there.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. You said unfortunately. That's wrong.
Okay, ma'am.
It is unfortunately. Okay? Try now.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, in my book, I do not wrote the full stop. That's why I thought it is a continuation.
No.
Okay, ma'am. First onwards, I should read, ma'am.
No, you just read from this word onwards.
Okay, ma'am. Unfortunately,
No, it's
Nicomac.
gone. Gone.
Unfortunately.
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 See, if you have any trouble of learning this, you just scribble that Malayalam like. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Like this, whenever there is a tough thing about the pronunciation that you cannot remember it, you just can scribble like this. All right, well, I'll come back to you. Now, I think it is
Unfortunately.
time for unfortunately, it's time for Aldo's, who's this? Steve and, who's that?
Fidel and
Fidel, and okay, yes,
Fidel.
Aldos, yes. Just listen, everybody. We are now
Okay, ma'am.
learning to reduce the tones. Control the tones when we are reading. You might have heard what I was reading. It is this technique of giving kind of, getting the attention of the listeners. For example, when we have to say something to someone, there are certain points in our conversation would be more important. We want everybody to listen that more carefully, take that more carefully. For that, we use the technique like we pause just in front of that particular word. Then we raise our voice to read that important word, give it some kind of pitch, then we continue speaking or reading. This will give the listener the complete feel of listening, and he could catch the important things in a conversation or the passage we are reading. I would read a small passage for you right now, the same, and you can listen and copy it. Simple. Just mimic.
Okay, ma'am.
Here I have underlined the important words, and you just see what kind of technique I'm going to use to make you listen that perfect. Pause, where I'm pausing. Aristotle lived. You can see there is a stop. Aristotle lived many years ago. Many, I raised my sound. Many years ago. Aristotle lived many years ago. He was born in a Greek colony. He was born, stop, in a Greek colony about 350 years before the birth of Christ. About 350 years before I pitched the birth of Christ. His father. Here we can start the first word with the importance, but only when it is required. His father. It is not his father, it is his father. His is little down, father is up.
Father.
His father, Nicomachus. Father and Nicomachus is important. Was the physician for the king of Macedonia. For the king of Macedonia. For the king of Macedonia. His father,
Macedonia.
Comachus, was the physician for the king of Macedonia. Unfortunately, it is not unfortunately, it is unfortunately, Nicomachus died when Aristotle was quite young. Here, the young age of Aristotle and the death of Nicomachus is important. Unfortunately, that is a sad event. You should bring your voice down to express that sadness in your voice. Unfortunately, Nicomachus died post when Aristotle was quite young. When Aristotle was quite young. When he was 17 years old. The age is again important here. 17 years old. He was sent to Athens. Place is important. Where he was sent. He was sent to Athens to study. The action is important. To do what? He was sent to Athens. When he was 17 years old, he was sent to Athens to study. Athens was a center of learning, and he joined the academy and studied for 20 years under Plato, who was the foremost philosopher and teacher of that time. Here, I wish to conclude this training of intonation of this week by pointing out certain things. If you check where I paused and where I pitched, they are the answers of certain WH questions. What's that? WH questions? What, where, when,
Where, when,
who,
which,
Why?
why,
Why?
etc., etc., etc. When he was 17 years old, when? He was sent to Athens, where? To study what? What? Study. Okay, Athens was a center of what? Learning. And what did he do? He joined the academy and did what? Studied. How long? How long? For 20 years. With who? Under Plato. What is he? Who was the foremost philosopher. So the importance is to the questions, the answers that, to the questions which is the answers here. WH questions and its answers. So like this, you have to identify the important questions, important part in our learning, in our passage, and practice like that. I can see that Aldous is trying to practice there, so I would just call him to simply read at least one or two sentences right now. Aldous, your time starts now.
Aristotle lived many years ago.
Good.
He was born in a Greek colony about yes, ma'am.
Yeah, correct. Continue.
He was born in a Greek colony about 350 years before the birth of Christ. His father, Nicomachus, was the physician for the king of Macedonia. Unfortunately, Nicomachus died when Aristotle was quite young. When he was 17 years old, he was sent to Athens to study. Athens was a center of learning, and he joined the academy and studied for 20 years under Plato, who was the foremost philosopher and teacher of that time.
I want to hug you at this point of time. It is so perfect. The timing is so correct. The pose, the pitch, the stretch, everything is sweet. Thank you. All right. Yeah. Anybody who wish to join now, we have 1 minute. I'll give you 1 minute or 2 minutes. Is that Anusri? Is that Fidel or anybody else? Just let me see your face. Yeah? Can anyone now try?
Can I?
Yeah. That was Angelina or Fidel. Fidel, let's consider the young people first. Let her read first two lines, then you can. All right, thank you. You are the eldest one, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Start, Anusri. Unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Aristotle lived many years ago. He was born in Greek colony about 350 years the birth of before the birth of Jesus, before the birth of Christ. His father Nicomachus was physician for the king of Macedonia. Unfortunately, Nicomachus died when Aristotle was quite young. When he was 17 years old, he was sent to Athens to study. Athens was a center of learning and and he joined the academy and studied for 20 years until
All right, Anusri, that was really good. You're done even beyond my expectations. I really appreciate for you this achievement. Thank you so much, Anusri. Keep this momentum. All right. Thank
okay,
you.
ma'am.
Yeah. Next, I would call Fidel. Yes.
Many years ago,
Mhm.
he was born in a Greek colony about 250 years before the birth of Christ. His father, Nicholas, was a physician for the king of Macedonia. Unfortunately, Nicomacheus died when Castle was quite young. When he was 7 years old, he was sent to Athens to study. Athens was a center of learning, and he joined the academy and studied for 20 years under Plato, who was the foremost philosopher and teacher of that time.
All right, all right. I really liked it, but there are some gray areas that we need to address. Like, the pitching should be, correctly done. The sound is done, the tone is done, but the pitching has a small trouble that we will correct it later, Fidel. All right, so it's time for us to leave. I hope you enjoyed it all. Am I right, Aldos? Could you enjoy it?
Yes, ma'am.
Liked
Yes,
it,
ma'am.
right?
We
Yes,
enjoyed
ma'am.
it well.
For some week, we will be going like this. You will learn phonetics from home. I'll give you daily week practices when you come
Okay,
to
ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
school. Okay. Ta-ta. Bye-bye.
Tata,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Bye
Have a
bye.
good day.
Bye bye.
Thank you so
Bye,
much.
ma'am.
Angelina, you're also
Yes,
so
ma'am.
nice, okay? I really loved
Okay,
it.
ma'am.
Only the problem of pitching just like Fidel. We will sort it
Okay,
out.
ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye-bye.